Hey Queens, welcome back to Yes Girl University YGU, where we say yes to ourselves, yes to love, yes to joy, our peace and strength, and whatever we desire to do with this life. I mean, we only get one, right? So before we move forward, I'd like to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and leave me some comments. Let's make this thing interactive. So I'm going to jump right in. I am fresh off of vacation. We got back a couple of days ago. We went down to Florida, and on the way back we stopped in Gatlinburg, and I just love Gatlinburg so much. Florida is more like relaxed. We went to the beach, we hung out in the house and did little things here and there, but then Gatlinburg for me is I just love the atmosphere there. It's so much to do and so much to see.
Why did you drop them like that?
It was a road trip, so it took 20 hours to get to Florida, which we're used to. Me and my husband, we hop the road all the time, as some of y'all know. We were there with some family, and on the way back again, we stopped in Gatlinburg, and we just had a ball. We had a really, really good time. So I feel a little off getting back into this thing because I feel like, oh my gosh, it's been a minute since I've been in here. But I said I want to get in here today and do something. So I had to come in here and just be in the space and the atmosphere to get back into my journaling. I had fell behind, and just being in the atmosphere to be creative. And I said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to do a quick video. I don't plan on this one being too long, so bear with me. I am going to really talk about this shirt that I have. It says, say yes to you. And so I just kind of want to talk about, what do I mean when I say yes to you? So, and these shirts are available. I have very limited quantity of these, and they just come in the black for right now. And I have another design too that I will share as well. But I really just love this one because this one for me is what YGU was all about, saying yes to me, putting myself on my own list, enjoying my life, living how I want to live by my rules, and just no stipulations from anybody else, but just living my best life, whatever that means to me. So say yes to you. Say yes to you again. Just for me, it was saying yes to God because that is what I believe in. I believe in the Lord Jesus. I believe that God is my absolutely everything, and he can help me through anything. He blesses me in so many different ways. So saying yes to me was saying yes to him first. And that was committing myself to him and to his word and to this walk, and allowing myself to be open up to be used by him in whatever way he see fit. So that was the first thing. Saying yes to me meant to me is just really submission and just open myself up to a love like no other. And this journey for me is about love. It's about loving myself truly and deeply and honestly and openly, so I can live how I choose to live. I can not let emotions and negativity and other people or whatever steer me off of my path. And it means I can be comfortable with who I am, where I am, and if there's anything I want to work on within myself, I can do it, but on my terms. So that is what saying yes to me means. I also had to put myself on my list. I am a wife. I am a mother to 5+ children because I have a lot of extra children that I try to spend a lot of, as much time as I can with or keep up with or whatever. So I take that role very, very seriously, not just as a mom, but a godmom, but a cousin, auntie, whatever. I try to have a presence in the children's lives that are in my life. So I take that very seriously. I am a daughter. I am my mother's caretaker. Previously, I was my mother's caretaker, my father's caretaker, and even my mother-in-law's caretaker, all at the same time, on top of, yes, being a mom and a wife. I am a housewife, so I keep the home. I not just clean the home, but I keep the home running as far as making sure the bills are paid, making sure everything is running smoothly, just keeping up with everything. And some people think, oh, you're a housewife. Oh, you're just at home. Yeah, no. That is like 100 jobs within itself. So we can go off into that another time, but there's a lot to do with carrying all these hats and playing all these roles and stuff. So on top of that, what else? I just, I'm just trying to maintain my own sense of happiness and just being aware of myself. But with doing so much and taking on so much, I've lost that along the way, kind of, I would say, losing myself along the way, because, okay, I'm a wife. Okay, I got to do this. I'm a mother. Oh my God, that's just a ton. I got to, take care of the house. I got to make sure the bill's paid. I got to keep everything running. So at the end of the day, when you get to hug everybody and say goodnight and this and other, there's not very much time left at the end of the day, especially when the children are small. There's very little time left at the beginning or the ending of the day for yourself. So you just kind of, let me just get in this bed because I got to start all over and do this tomorrow. And those days begin to run together. And things happen, unexpected things happen. So you're trying to maintain all that you're doing. And then when life throws you a curveball or something comes your way, you got to deal with it. You got to fit it in to now your everyday life until you get through the situation or find a solution or whatever happens. So along the way, I didn't know who I was. I had no idea what I wanted. I convinced myself that I was his wife. I was their mom. I was their caretaker, and that was it. And I convinced myself to tell myself that that was enough. Like, this is enough. You have your family, you have a home. Like, I just tried to never complain. But over time, it's like you lose time. I was losing time. I would sit on my couch sometimes and I would look at the window and I would have kind of like this daydream experience where I could see the world like spinning really fast around me. Like, I could see the trees moving, the houses, the cars, the sky, the clouds. I could see everything just spinning really, really fast. And I'm like right in the middle, and it's so still and it's so quiet. And I was like in slow motion. And that made me feel like, wow, you're in the middle of this chaos and life is passing you by. Everything around you is passing you by. You have no sense of time because, when you're busy, days begin to run together. Yesterday looked like today. Is tomorrow going to look like today? You lose track of time. You lose track of just your self-worth, your confidence, your health. Like, everything for me personally within just was on the back burner and spiraled out of control. And I got into a place of depression, but I would never acknowledge it as being depression, because acknowledging that I was sad or I was depressed felt like being weak. So I would never say that out loud. I never tried to show it, but little did I know I was showing it. I was showing it in how I carried myself. I was showing it in trying to hide myself from the world, even when we were out. I could be in a room full of people and felt completely alone. I would intentionally try to make myself invisible, whether it be hide behind my husband or my kids, or just be off in a corner, or just stayed really, really quiet, or made myself unapproachable, like putting this look on my face, like, don't come talk to me. No, just don't come talk to me. No, just built this wall, this fortress around me that just don't, because I don't want to show how I really feel. But I didn't realize I didn't realize that food became my friend. And it's not like I sat and I would gorge food, like big plates of food or anything. It was more like I was a grazer. Every time I would go to the kitchen, I would be in the fridge or I would be in the cabinet. And I would just pick this little thing here, this little thing there. But if you're doing it without the day, that adds up. And it's like, boom, here I am. What? How did I get here? How the heck did I get here? And so with feeling depressed or being depressed and looking the way I am and feeling the way I was, just always tired, but you could never be tired because there was always something to do. On top of that, I also basically was running a daycare. I was a family babysitter, so I always had babies or young children all the time, even when mine were at school or whatever. So every day my house was full and it was alive. And I loved that. I loved that my house was always alive, but I didn't realize the toll that it was taking on myself to not, at least at the beginning of the day, the end of the day, or somewhere in between, just carved out a little bit of time for myself. I just never did it. I always felt like it was so selfish to like go and hide in the bathroom and the kids are knocking at the door. I just felt that was so selfish. So not that I never did it, but it just felt like, how dare you? Like, they didn't ask to be here. You asked God for them. So how dare you feel like you don't want to be around them? How dare you feel like they're getting on your nerves or I need a break? How dare you? So, and I think a lot of us moms feel that way. We get overwhelmed. But when you're a mom that is a responsible mom and you absolutely love being a mom, I think a lot of us have those feelings of that guilt or that like shame of, oh God, I'm sorry I even thought that, or I even felt that. I love my kids. They are the greatest gifts in my life, and my husband and my family. I'm grateful to have the family that I have. How dare you feel sad? How dare you feel tired? How dare you feel like I just don't want to get out the bed today? Everybody's on their own. So just dealing with those emotions and those feelings and those thoughts just dug me deeper and deeper and deeper into this, I would say, this darkness that I was in. And speaking of darkness, I could be laying in the bed, complete silence, complete darkness, but it would be so loud. The darkness would be so loud. My mind would just race and I couldn't turn it off. So I wasn't getting enough sleep because I couldn't shut everything down. Not just thinking, okay, what do I got to do tomorrow? What do the kids need? What do my mom need? What do my dad need? What does my husband need? My husband got to go to work. I got to fix his lunch. The kids got to get up and go to school. God, I'm tired. I don't want to do it. I just cannot, please just get a break. Just everything just swarming around my mind at the same time. And just laying there and just praying to just drift off to sleep at some point in the night, but still having to get up early and just do it all over again. And I lived like that. I lived like that for years. Even as my children began to get older and get into their adulthood, I still just carried them. Carried my parents, carried everything. I don't know if it gave me a sense of control. I wouldn't say I'm a control freak, but maybe having that sense of control. If I'm carrying everything, then nothing unexpected could happen. But of course, something unexpected always happens because we don't know what's around the corner. We don't know what we're going to encounter in life. We don't know what trials we have to face. We don't know what God is trying to tell us when he reveals things to us to tell us, hey, you need to slow down, or hey, you need to look to me. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. This is not for you. This is not meant for you. You need to let this go. And so I just lived like that for years. I mean, years and years and years. And I finally got to a point a few years ago where I really, really wanted to do something about my weight. So I, told myself, yeah, I'm on this journey. And I just felt like losing the weight was going to be the answer to everything. It's going to be the answer to how I felt, how I looked, my energy. I just, and I was on fire. Don't get me wrong. I was like number 28 on my list. And as time went, as I was on this journey, I was climbing up that list, climbing up. So I'm like, hey, I'm at the top. I get up, I do my morning routine, I pray, I thank the Lord, I go to the gym, I come back, fix me something healthy to eat, get my dad's meal ready, get my mom ready, get the kid, whatever. I was just like, hey, I'm doing it. At the end of the day, I would read, or I would do some type of motivational video or something. I was pouring into myself. So I'm feeling good. I'm losing weight. I'm looking good. And I'm like, yeah, this was the answer. I just needed to lose some weight. That wasn't it, because I was only working on one aspect of my being. I wasn't working on my mentality, my mind. I wasn't working on healing from the inside out. I wasn't working on forgiveness. I wasn't working on past hurts and letting those things go. I was still carrying all that stuff, just, in kind of a different package, because I had ended up losing like 60 pounds. So I was looking like, yeah, I was looking and feeling good, but it wasn't enough. I needed to do a whole complete overhaul of myself. I mean, and I had to go deeper within and start pulling out those, things from my past that was still affecting me, that was still dictating how I responded to things. I had to start pulling that stuff out and putting it before God and allowing him to show me, a lesson from it so I could release it and grow from it and eventually turn it into a brick that I can place on this new foundation I'm trying to build of myself. So, and that it wasn't easy. It's not easy. I'm still digging through the mess. I'm still pulling stuff out, because as much as I feel stronger and happier mentally and emotionally, things still trigger me. I was just recently triggered on vacation, and it was hard for me to get out of the emotion. It was hard for me to get out of the mind space of I'm angry, I'm hurt, I can't believe this. It was so hard, and I started beating myself up, because I'm like, how are you on this journey, but you can't get out of this feeling? Why are you still so angry? Why are you still, feeling this hurt from this situation? Like, why are you holding on to it? You're supposed to be healed and better from this. But it's like, no, I'm still working. I'm still a work, and I'm probably going to be a work in progress for every day that I have left on this earth. But in that situation, I had to remember, you're still at work. Just pray about it. Go to God. Just learn the lesson from it, and just keep moving forward. Keep climbing. Don't get stagnant. Don't get stuck in this feeling and this emotion, because that is how you how you fell before. And so that made me feel good that I again was able to recognize, okay, this is what you're doing. You've been triggered. You need to do something about this. You need to get on top of this. You need to get in front of it right now before it pulls you back. And so that is what I am doing. So it's a process. It's a journey. It is not easy, and sometimes it is very painful. Sometimes it is very lonely, but there's so much joy in it when you start to see stuff change, when you see yourself change. I look at myself, and I realized on vacation, I was looking at some pictures that I took this year versus last year when we were on vacation around the same time. And I just looked different. Not my body per se, because I'm only down like 20 pounds since then. But I looked different. I looked happier. I looked more confident in the newer pictures. I just looked like I was finally, I don't know, just really loving myself and paying attention to myself and pouring into myself. I just felt like I was glowing. Like, I just feel like I'm glowing. I look at myself sometimes and I'll just be like, girl, look at you. Like, I'm smiling and I'm not hiding. I actually put on a 2-piece swimsuit. That was terrifying, but I challenged myself to do it. And I did it. And I actually wore it out in public to the beach. Now, I'm not saying I walked around that beach in it too much, but I put it on and I went to the beach in it, out in public. And so that was enough for me. That was enough for me. It was enough for me to say, hey, you have come thus far, but keep going, keep working, keep moving, just keep walking. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow. But as long as you're moving forward, as long as you're moving in the right direction, you will get there. Just keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes looking up and forward, and you'll get there. Everything will just, begin to fall into place. So saying yes to me, all of me. Yes, this is how I look right now. Am I happy with how I look right now? Not so much, but can I accept how I look right now? Meaning, am I going to continue to hide? Am I going to let it prevent me from living a happy life, just living life? No, because this is something I can change. This is something that I am actively working on changing because it's something I want to do. Is it necessary for me to have a fulfilled life? No. It's just something I want to do for me. So saying yes to me is accepting, you know what, Annie? You've been through a lot. You do a lot. You've caused hurt, just like you've been hurt. You've offended people like you've been offended. Saying yes to me means owning all of that, owning my roles in where I've hurt or offended people, and forgiving those who have hurt and offended me. So saying yes to me is being a responsible person for all of me, the things that I say, the things that I do. Everybody's not going to agree with me. I'm not going to agree with everybody, and that's okay. That's okay too. This platform, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. I don't need 1 million people around the world following me and liking me and sharing my stuff. If it reaches one, it's okay. Because in the end, I'm really doing it for me, but I'm sharing it in hopes that somebody who is in a familiar place like I was in will feel motivated and inspired enough to climb out that hole, that darkness, that quietness, that loudness, like all of it, and just start moving forward in whatever direction makes you happy. Your life, your path is your own. It's what you make of it. We don't have to let our past, we don't have to let people or anything tell us that we're happy or we're sad. We can create our own happiness simply by saying yes. Say yes to you. Yes. Say yes. Say yes, you are worthy. Say yes, I love myself. Say yes, I am strong. And yes, I am weak at times. I am vulnerable. Yes, I am. I am hurt. I am responsible. I get offended. I allow my emotions to, take a hold of me sometimes. Yes, I do. But yes, I can take ownership for all of it. Yes, I choose to share my story. Everybody doesn't choose to do that, but yes, I do. It's part of my healing process. So saying yes to you is saying yes to whatever makes you happy. Whatever you feel is going to build you up and create the joy and the energy around you, whatever. Just go for it. Yes, absolutely yes. My daddy told me, whatever you want to do in life, do it. Go where you want to go. Don't worry about people. Go where you want to go, do what you want to do, and get what you want to get. Don't worry about how much it costs all the time, or don't worry about, where the next thing is going to come from. God has us. He has us. I have always been blessed despite anything that I've done, felt, said, or whatever. I have been immensely blessed, and I stand on that. God has never let me down or left me out in the cold. Have there been times where I felt like I was alone? Yes, I felt like I was alone, but I was never truly alone. Sometimes our eyes have to be open to where we are so we can look around and say, how did I get here? Oh God, to help us to call on him, to cry out and say, God, I need you. Not be afraid to ask for help. And even from others. I mean, it's okay to reach out as long as it's a person that you trust. Get counseling. If there's nobody in your life that you feel is trustworthy enough to open yourself completely to, then go to counseling. Seek something. Get something. But I just wanted to come forth and just go into what saying yes to you, what it means to me, what it has meant to me on trying to turn my life around and to be happy with my life. I don't want to make or feel like I have any more regrets from this point on. I just don't. My daddy's legacy was no regrets. He was 94 and he said he had no regrets. And so that's just what I'm trying to live from this moment on. So I love you all. Again, like, share, subscribe. And if you're interested in the shirt, please hit me up. I have another design. I just have black right now. I have a very limited supply of the sizes and whatnot, but if you're interested, please hit me up. They're just $20. I have sizes, I believe, from small to 3X. I believe that's what I have. I'll have to go through my stock, but and it'll help keep this thing going and growing. So I love you guys, and just remember, say yes to you. Say yes, say yes, say yes. Put yourself on your list. Live happily and full of joy, and just be proud of yourself, of every decision you make. Have no shame of anything in your past, because everything we have gone through was meant to build us. Take it, release it, mold it together, turn it into a brick, and put it on your foundation and stand on it. So I'm going to cut this short here, but thank you for joining me at Yes Girl University YGU. Say yes to you, Queen. Say yes.